Grand Rising Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for all of your supports, donations. I appreciate it all. We're going to go ahead and ring the bell. We're going to clear out this energy. Like my shirt's on crooked. And then we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us this morning. Everything is the same, but everything is different. It's like to us, everything looks everything looks the same, but it feels different. Bottom of the deck, a judgment call has been made. Judgment has been made in somebody's favor and out of somebody else's favor because somebody, a judgment call was made and they are going to prison. Something about this wealthy man, some expectation that they had. I guess they expected to be able to get this gift out of this lover. But somebody received a message that put them in their thoughts. This message was from this mature woman who was concerned about something, about their life ending or their path coming, something about something coming to the end of the road because they were trying to steal from the privileged lady. The gig is up. Whatever they've been working tirelessly on, long, hard, for years, trying to steal this house, trying to make it seem like things are different within this family or this home or this business. These two people were working together. There was this main one, and then there was one in the background. Both of them were false. Now, whatever plan that they were trying to get away with, it's not going to work. They thought they was going to get some sudden wealth. It's not working because this main female, something is happening in a not too distant future. Maybe somebody is traveling, but things are changing for sure. Now they're concerned because they know that this privileged lady is of high honor, and they know that the spiritual authorities, like the police, know that the great fortune that this person um, exists within this person. So now this mature man wants to take a trip. Now they want to share a secret about this lawsuit, something that's been going on, you know, about this child that was born from this relationship. Someone wants to share something. They want to talk about how this main male is now in facing poverty because this community expected to get this unexpected income whenever you were no longer around. They expected to get the praise, the adoration, the acclamation, and everything when you were no longer around. But now things have changed, and someone is in despair, especially when it comes to this relationship. What's the message? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be one relationship, it could be all relationships. Because, Spirit has, hey, Red Violet, Grand Rising. Yeah, something went in someone's favor and something went out of someone else's favor. But a judgment call has definitely been made, especially regarding this unexpected income with this mature man and this family or this business. Because you know these people are now in bad health. They're not doing good. They are not doing good at all. Not at all. Hey, Satan, how are you? How are you? What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, something about this privileged lady. Judgment went in favor of this privileged lady because she deserves it. She's been working hard on herself. You know what? This privileged lady was the one that was in poverty and had to work hard to bring herself out of poverty. Now now this family is concerned because somebody's talking about it. Somebody's telling the truth. Somebody's talking about all those things that they did to this privileged lady, even whenever this privileged lady was a child. The illegal, immoral, unethical things that were taking place. Like I said, they are at the end of their road and they know it. Hey, K Hyphy, how are you? They know it. What's the message? Yeah, this main male. Either they were trying to steal from this main male, or somebody. I feel like they were trying to steal from this main male, or this main male was trying to steal from this privileged lady. Yeah, because of this unexpected income that they felt that this mature man was going to leave, possibly in a will. So it was just a matter of time for this main male, but this main male wanted to take something from this privileged lady that wasn't theirs to take. Mm. But this the child. It's like maybe the courts, something with this child. Maybe this child took somebody to court, or this child had to go to court regarding this unexpected money that they was trying to get from this wealthy man. But now that is over. That's over because it's almost like this main male that did something, or somebody that was trying to take something did something illegal, unethical, and immoral. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. And they not getting this money. They not getting this money. And in fact, there was no sudden wealth. Isn't that something? There was no sudden wealth. People were working so hard to take some money that wasn't even there. That wasn't even there. They were working so hard for something that wasn't even available. Something that wasn't even in existence. Now that's the funny part. And then someone feels that they went on this long journey. They followed this path to a T. They followed every rule, every guideline, every directive, every order. They followed it to a T, and only to find out that they were left in despair. They expected something. They expected a lot of money. They expected to get this money by tomorrow. And then they found out that this great fortune that somebody was telling them about, all this thousands of dollars and gold bullions and gold bars and money just stacks on top of money, on top of money, on top of money, on top of money. It was a lie. All of it. All of it was a lie. This mature woman had told a lie. And now she's being shamed. Because you tell the truth and you shame the devil. Someone is being shamed. Now someone is thinking, wait a minute. It was that privileged lady that was in high honor. It was not that mature woman. And they are in their thoughts about what they even did. How they tried to sink below to get something that wasn't theirs. And now they're concerned because these secrets is coming out. They can't stop these secrets is coming out. Everybody knows about this relationship, the one that they saw on the outside. But everybody didn't know about the secret relationship, the one that was going with the false person behind the doors. Like I said, everything is changing. Everything is changing. Everything that they worked hard for, they knew this this will, this house, this money, all of these worldly possessions, they knew it was coming. So they was like counting the days. They had a calendar. They was marking out each day, feeling like this mature man was getting closer and closer and closer to his final breath, until they received a visit from the police. And the police told them that they had their suspicions about these two. They had their suspicions. They was questioning and they was asking them, well, what about this? And that's so strange. And what about this? And what did you do about that? And what about this? And what about that? And that's whenever those two got themselves caught up for trying to steal something that didn't belong to them. Mm-hmm. Something about this. Somebody was supposed to have been in a relationship with this main female. Somebody was supposed to have been in a relationship with this main female, or this main female was a third party. That's what that was. Here it is that somebody was in a committed relationship, and then this one was this Jezebel, this 304, this hoe was trying to get in the middle of it. And it's like this mature man, that's the one who figured it out, and that's the one who was changing things within the community, within the family, within the will. Somebody's changing something. Hey, J Mike, Grand Rising. Now they all getting sick. Mm-mm. Dang, well, that's too bad for them. It's good for us, but it's bad for them. What you say, Satan? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, something about this message. Something about this message, this mature woman. And they finding out that mature woman was that secret lover. Mm-hmm. But that shit is changing now. Ain't no secret anymore. Because somebody has to go to spiritual prison. Hey, Shaylin. Spiritual prison. They're going to spiritual prison because they got in the way of this relationship when it was not wise for them to do so. That's that message. Now they concerned and upset about what? We don't know. We don't even really care. Like they say, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, somebody thought that they was going to explore something, something a little taboo on the wild side. You'll never know. You'll never know. And like this person would be able to have that 10 of cups, because somebody would be traveling to them and they'd be traveling to that person. And you would never know. You would never be able to put two and two together. You'd never be able to figure this shit out. Not at all. But one thing they didn't realize about you and that big ass heart of yours, one thing they didn't realize was how strong and courageous you were. And how you was not going to be trapped. You were not going to be suckered. You were not going to be lied to. And most of all, you was not going to allow anybody to play in your energy. Not at all. You knew the truth. You knew the truth about what was going on in this family. You knew. And how somebody was so curious, like they wanted something that you had. It's like they picture themselves being with who you was with. Isn't that nasty? Isn't that nasty? But you didn't care because you didn't want that person. But that made you look at this other person like y'all, you was a nasty hoe. Because you get with somebody after I was with somebody, you was a nasty hoe. You didn't say anything. You kept it to yourself and was very diplomatic throughout all of that. But Spirit wanted you to be quiet, wanted you to be diplomatic. Spirit didn't want you to put nobody out on Front Street because Spirit wanted them to continue their little secret affair. Continue. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And somebody was so egotistical, she thought that she could keep going and you wouldn't even know. She thought that she was stronger than you and you was just some little peon and you wouldn't be able to figure nothing out. But as wisdom and logic have it, you was spot on. Can't make this up. You was spot on about everything and it fucked them up. Now somebody's thinking about the past and how they chose to fuck themselves up by trying to come for something that wasn't theirs, by trying to take something that didn't belong to them, by trying to sneak behind somebody that shouldn't have been snuck behind, by trying to play in your energy. And the message that they're receiving about somebody's generosity, about this money, it's got them in their feelings. It's got them second guessing what the fuck they thought they was doing. Because now somebody understands. They discern very clearly this Empress is the one who's getting this who they tried to take out. The Empress is the one that they couldn't trap. It's like they tried to take somebody out, but this one is like slip between the fingers as if trying to hold water. And now these people that work together, these secret lovers, now they fighting. They can't see eye to eye. Now, something happened to them, but everything is over. It's done. Everything is out in the open. Everyone knows everything, sees everything, remembered confirmation, remembers, everyone remembers clearly. And they thought about it, but they really didn't think about it. But now they can't help but to think about it. Something is happening fast. Somebody's working hard on something, especially now that they know the truth. The truth is out there. They're working hard on this. They're not giving up. They're not giving up. Especially whenever they wanted this star to lose. They wanted this star to be left out in the cold. But instead, all that did was inspire somebody to work harder. That's it. It just inspired someone to work harder. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? What's the message? Yep. Now something is dissolving with this team. They're leaving each other. They're dissolving. They can't work. They can't work together. It's over. It's kaput. And somebody see now that what they this whole chapter, this whole game, this whatever they thought is done. The world card. This is complete. Now somebody wants to go into hiding. Now they want to go into hiding because the Wheel of Fortune is going out of their favor, and everybody is like, "Well, what happened? You were just sitting on top of the world. What happened? What happened? You acted like you was just and you was doing things, you was making money moves, you felt like you was in the right partnership. Hold on a second, y'all. I need to hold on. Capture screenshot. There it is. Allow. There. Okay. Hold on. I needed to have this message pop up, and I needed to get a screenshot so they could tell me exactly what this is. Seems like somebody's trying to use my URL. Got it. All right. Hey, Demita, how are you? Yeah, somebody thought that that they was going to be good. They was going to be single. Everybody's like, you seemed like you was doing the right thing. You was doing this, you was doing that. And they really thought that they could kind of play you to the left. They thought that they knew you and you wasn't going to really say anything. You were just going to be diplomatic and they could just kind of like jive you and you would jive back. But they see now that's not the type of time that you was on. You was not trying to build up like that type of time. You was coming to them 100% correct. What's the message? What's the message? Anything else? Yeah, somebody understanding that things is changing. Yes, the truth is out. You're moving forward regardless, whatever this person tried to do, and everybody sees exactly what somebody tried to do. To your household, to your family. They tried to bring conflict to you. So that's what I'm saying. Everything is, and now that group that was working together, everybody sees how they are. And that's why they all getting justice. Everybody sees all the lies, the trickery, the bullshittery, the buttfuckery, everything that they did. That's why everybody is getting, you cannot make this up. Everybody is under judgment for the choices that they made to try and hurt you. They was trying to kick your ass. This is the 10 of Wands right there. Mm-hmm. Well, it is what it is. Because they can't get close to you. They can't. God said no. The thing is, it's like people look at other people and think, oh my gosh, they lived the hardest life. They did this, they did that, But it's like, then whenever those people that live the hardest life start coming up out of it, start bringing themselves out of it because they start waking up to self-love, then those people that were sitting there talking about how hard their life was and this and that, those are the same people that want to try and keep that somebody down. When they see and then that'll be the same person that go, you could have picked yourself up. Well, whenever somebody was picking themselves up, somebody else was acting like an asshole. Mm-hmm. Yes. When somebody finally decided to pick themselves up and to bring themselves up out the mud, that's the truth of the situation. Somebody started completely over. They started completely over. Hey, AJ, how are you? But yet, starting over, picking yourself up from, rebuilding yourself, rebranding yourself, and people they still are like, well, you still ain't shit, even though you bypassed whatever I've done before. I'm still gonna tell everybody you ain't shit. I'm still gonna say I remember when. Okay, but that's fair enough. But you need to remember when you was not that good either. You remember when all that shit, you know? It's like I got a biological sister I ain't talked to in years. Years. And I'm happier because she was that type of person. She want to remember when, but I remember when. And she didn't want me to talk about what I remembered when in front of her kids. You see, because then her kids start looking at her like, oh, mama, you was a 304 and you did this and you did that and you did this and you did that. But she forgot to tell them all that. But she the one that want to talk about what she remember. She remember when. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, somebody's thinking about the things that they put out there to put confusion into this situation. Whereas you was building yourself up step by step, somebody's thinking about the shit that they was putting out there to add confusion to this situation. You know? But it's like and this emperor sees that you started loving on yourself, respecting yourself, working on yourself. That's what the emperor sees. And like I said, and for you to turn out to be a star after everything that everybody did to you, oh, it caused towers and everybody else is like, and now everybody says the smart thing for them to do is to run and hide, is to disappear, is to go within, is not talk about it because everybody sees that, everybody else is like, well, wait a minute. You was just, and now all of a sudden things ain't going right for you. You was just talking. You was just saying this. You was just doing this. You had just said last week, didn't you? Wasn't that you that just said? Wasn't that you that just did? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's coming out. Everything that somebody didn't want to come out. How they was trying to end you. It's out. It's out. And they can't get it to go back in. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. Once you learn it, you can never unlearn it. You know? What's the message? Anything else? Mm-hmm. Yep. And you, my dear, you're just being balanced. You're being balanced. You know what you need to do. You're using logic. And at this point, you understand that it's time for you to leave those people, leave that past, leave that energy because they were trying to tend to sword you. And those choices that those people made, confirmation, those choices that those people made, let them receive their justice. Let them be seen as the fools that they were. How they tried to take you out, how they tried to deceive you. Let them be seen as the fools that they are. You know? And all you need to do is just imagine yourself. Imagine yourself having everything that you need and imagining yourself being happy, being complete. That's it. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. I got to log on in 15 minutes. I got to try and make something to eat real quick, which is going to take about 35 to 40. So I need to try and log on somewhere within the 8 o'clock hour. But I will see y'all tonight, this evening. Thank you so very much. Hey, if anybody wants to email me, the email address is in the description box. I am available to talk. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I love y'all, and I'll see you this evening. Bye now. You have a blessed day too, Red Violet and J Mike and K Hypey and Shaylin and Satan and AJ Craft and Demita and who else? Who else was on here? All right, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see you this evening. Bye now.